All right, let's talk about something that I've been using for the past few weeks that's genuinely made my freelance work easier. And look, I know there's a lot of noise about AI taking jobs, but here's what I've realized. The freelancers doing well right now aren't the ones scared of AI. They're just using it better than literally everyone else. So if you're on Fiverr, Upwork, or just juggling multiple clients like I am, then you know the drill. You're competing against hundreds of other freelancers, and a lot of them already are using AI to respond faster and write better proposals. The thing is, most of us are still bouncing between Chrome and 15 different tabs just to get AI's help. ChatGPT here, email there, research scattered everywhere. It's honestly chaos. So, a few weeks ago, I started using the Neo browser, and honestly, it's changed a lot of things. And the biggest advantage is it's completely free. And instead of being just another AI tool that you have to learn, it's basically Chrome or Safari, but with AI built in directly, like actually built in, not as in some pain in the ass extension that you always have to click on and wait for it to work. And today, I want to show you exactly how this could give you the unfair advantage over your competition. So, let's start with a real example. Now, last week, a client emailed me about a project that I needed to research their industry, check out their competitors, write a proposal, and send it back, all while trying to look professional and respond quickly. Now, normally, that's like 10 tabs minimum. Gmail, Google for research, ChatGPT for writing help, back to Google for competitor research, and every time you switch tabs, you actually lose focus. And there's honestly research behind this showing that it takes about 23 minutes to fully refocus after a distraction. Now, as a freelancer, I don't know about you, but I literally cannot afford that. Now, with Neo, it has this thing called the magic box. And yeah, I know the name sounds a little bit gimmicky, but it's actually just a search bar where you can do pretty much everything. Search the web, ask AI questions, summarize pages, literally whatever you need. You're not jumping between apps or losing your train of thought. You just work how you should. And here's where it got really useful for me. As you know, I work on Fiverr and the majority of my income comes through Fiverr. And when you get an inquiry, you know 5 other people have got that same message from a buyer. So speed does matter, but so does quality. And with Neo, I can be in my Fiverr messages, highlight what the client said, click Neo Chat and ask it to help me write a response that actually addresses their specific needs. There's no copying and pasting to ChatGPT, no losing the context. It's just literally right there. So for those of you that are not great at client responses, this is going to help you a lot. And if they mention competitors or specific industry stuff, I can actually research that right in the Neo Chat sidebar and have it summarized, all the important information. Then I can also incorporate that information and those insights into my proposal. And straight away, the credibility that you're about to build with the client, having shown that you've gone to so much effort, is going to be far beyond what any other of the freelancers are responding. Now, that's the kind of thing that's going to win you clients. Now, another thing I use it for constantly is research. Now, let's say I'm writing content about something that I don't really know much about. And that happens a lot because I script write for a lot of my clients. Normally, to do this, I'd open a few different articles, try to read them all, take notes, and somehow synchronize and synthesize everything. It takes quite a bit of time, and I usually end up struggling to piece all the different information together into something that actually flows naturally. Well, Neo has these 2 really cool features called Peek and Summarize, and this is where you can actually hover over a link in the search results and it will show you a summary. Plus, you can ask additional follow-up questions and get literally all the relevant information you want from that page without actually needing to visit it and read it fully. Or if you don't want to waste time clicking on links and waiting for them to open, you can actually quickly see if it's worth your time by using the Peek feature, which will open up a display preview, but not the actual physical page. Now, I know it seems like a pretty small time saver, but after consistently using this for a while now, I've noticed a huge difference in how fast I get things done. Now, what used to take me maybe I don't know, 1 hour of research now takes me maybe 20 minutes, and I'm getting the exact information I want because I'm literally asking for it. But now let's jump into emails for a second. Something that I absolutely despise dealing with, because if you're freelancing, your inbox is probably a mess similar to mine. You have client questions, project updates, payment discussions, new leads. It's endless and very, very messy. Now, Neo has email assistance built in. You can be in your Gmail, select an email, and just tell Neo what you need, such as, help me write a response explaining the project will take 2 extra days because of scope creep. And it generates something professional that I can then slightly tweak and go ahead and send. You can also adjust the tone instantly as well to make it either more casual, more formal, whatever you need, all by just asking through Neo Chat. Now, like I said at the start of this video, if you are maybe new to freelancing and you're not great at conversing with clients yet, this tool is going to help you a lot by saving you time and crafting professionally designed messages. And okay, let's now get to the important part, which might not really seem so important for some, but as freelancers and, well, business owners, we're often dealing with client NDAs, confidential information, unreleased products. And when you're using AI tools, that data you're asking for is actually going to the cloud and getting processed on someone else's servers. However, with Neo, it actually stores your chats and browsing locally on your device, meaning your client's confidential stuff isn't actually leaving your computer. Now, I don't want to be too dramatic about this, but imagine losing a client because their confidential launch details got leaked through an AI tool. Now, it could quite easily happen, and Neo just eliminates that worry. And maybe you haven't had to sign many NDAs yet in your freelance journey. And, hopefully you haven't, and lucky for you. But I can tell you that I have signed quite a few. Yes, they're a pain in the bum because there's pages upon pages upon pages. But generally, it's better to be safe than sorry. And if you are juggling multiple clients, you know what it's like having tab chaos. And I'm somebody that absolutely hates this. My partner has this all the time. Now, how many times I end up closing tabs just to basically make more space or to stay a little bit more organized, but then within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I instantly regret it because I need those tabs and I've just closed them, and now I can't remember or can't find exactly what the pages were that I was on. Now, Neo actually automatically groups your tabs by context. For example, you could have client A tabs together, research tabs together, email tabs together, and you can actually switch between projects without going insane trying to find that right tab. Also, there is tab archiving, which I didn't think I'd care about as much as I actually do because I love it. It automatically archives tabs that you haven't used recently. So your workspace actually stays clean, but everything is still accessible if and when you need it. Now, look, let's get serious. Freelancing, as you know, is competitive. You're competing on speed, quality, professionalism. Personally, Neo gives you an edge in all three. And because you're more efficient, you could either maybe price yourself more competitively or just make better margins on the same rates if you're charging hourly. So the big question you might be asking yourself is, should you try it? Well, here's the truth. Neo is absolutely free. It works on both Mac and Windows. There are no subscriptions, no hidden fees. You literally download it and you're good to go. It took me maybe 1 day to get used to it, and now it's actually become my regular browser. Now, I'll put a link in the description, and I know changing habits, just like changing browsers, feels like a hassle. But we are at a point where AI is genuinely changing how work gets done. So try it. Give it a week, give it a few days, see if it actually helps your workflow, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are after using it. Again, links in the description. It takes no more than 30 seconds to download and start using. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.